Hi, everyone. It's Laura O'Brien here for Legal Talk Tuesdays. I'm here today to talk about family law. It's our Family Law Day, so that's why you're seeing my face alone and not Brooke. I handle the family law cases and issues here with MyVirtual.Lawyer. So today, with family law, the lawyers listening out there are going to tell me that what I'm going to talk about isn't truly family law, but I care what you think. And usually when dealing with children, most people think that that's family law. So today we're talking about adoption, which is not technically family law, but it's in our family law realm. So you all know, if you would listen to us at all on our Legal Talk Tuesdays, you know that that children are kind of one of my hot button topics. I love to help children feel safe and secure and protected. And that's the reason why handling adoptions for MVL is one of my favorite things to do. I love helping people get divorced amicably and that kind of thing as well, but adoptions and guardianships are my two favorite things. So today we're going to talk about adoptions. Here at MyVirtual.Lawyer, we work with people on the two most common types of adoptions. Number one, that's step-parent adoptions. And number two is family member adoptions. So what does that mean here in Arkansas? And what are some must-know things that I can share with you today? So today, we're going to talk a little bit about those two different things that I handle. Obviously there are other types of adoptions like newborn adoption, non-family member adoptions, international adoptions, adoptions through the DHS system. Just know that those are options out there. We don't handle them here, but we're super happy to give you names of attorneys that we know and trust will do a really good job for you. So feel free to reach out with questions about those types of adoptions as well. So first, let's talk about step-parent adoptions. I'm sure that you know, or you are personally either a step-parent yourself, or you're in a relationship where your husband or wife is a step-parent to your children. A step-parent adoption is something that happens when a biological parent of a child gets married or remarried, and the other biological parent, is not really in the child's life. And so the step-parent wants to step up, step-parent wants to step up and be legally and forever responsible for that child. It happens a lot more than you think. Sometimes there are issues with it. We can talk about that in your particular situations if you like, but it's when a step-parent wants to legally adopt a child because the biological parent, the other one, is not really in that child's life. Family member adoption, what does that really mean? Family member adoptions I see most when a biological parent or parents are either very young, or maybe they have long-term substance abuse issues or mental illness issues and are not able to take care of the child. A family member, grandmother, grandfather, aunt, uncle, cousins, sister, brother, they decide to adopt the child so that the child is secure and safe and raised in a loving environment. Those are the two types of adoptions that we handle mostly here at MVL. Again, those other types of adoptions are around. We know some great attorneys who can help you with that. Just reach out and ask us those questions. I'll do a little pause right here. I spent the weekend at a friend's cabin, and it was beautiful. It was on the Arkansas River, nice and quiet. I needed some solo recharge time, but I'm really ready for the sun to come back. So for those of you who are around the state in Arkansas and listening to this, I'm just super tired of the gray days. It seems like that's what was our entire January, and I'm not super okay with it starting February that way as well. So comment here on our video and let us know if you're in a place in the state where you actually have sun right now, because in central Arkansas, there's no sun to be had and it's raining yet again. So just give us a little comment so we can all be jealous of you if you actually have sun and you're part of the state. If you want to, gripe about the fact that you haven't seen sun for days as well, please comment as well. We can all kind of commiserate together. So let's move on to the next part of my talk, which is, do I think that you need an attorney to help you with adoptions? And really the short answer is yes, I do. It's not something that is super easy to DIY. Why do I think that you need an attorney? It's kind of like I mentioned before. Adoption is not actually handled in family law court. So it's handled by the judges who actually handle your wills and things like that. So it's the rules and regulations and requirements around adoption are a lot different than just basic, I'm going to file a complaint for divorce and serve my spouse and have my hearing. It's a lot more complicated than that. And so the process being that to helping you navigate the rules and procedures. And, I'm just going to tell you a few of those rules and procedures that you need to be aware of and that an attorney can kind of help you navigate. Here at MBL, that we help people represent themselves in court, but we know a lot of other great attorneys across the state. If you want someone to go with you to court, or if your situation is a little bit more complicated, we definitely have a great referral system, so we can get you some names if you need somebody that's different than us. So a couple of the rules and procedures that people just need to be aware of that make it a little more complicated. Number one, and the biggest one, is consent. The biological parents, both the man and the woman, both the mom and the dad, have to consent to the adoption. There are exceptions to that. And there are a variety of different reasons, if they've been found unfit, if they've never paid child support, that kind of thing. But you still have to argue those issues to a judge. When you're talking about consent with the family member adoptions and things like that, oftentimes you can get consent of at least one parent, but every situation is so different, and the rules really require legal notice and certain wording in the consent document to be approved even by a judge if they sign. So you can't just write out a document and say, I consent to my Aunt Lisa having my child, adopting my child. There are a lot more things that have to be in that document for a judge to think that it's fair and that they, did it of their own will and weren't coerced into anything. There are a lot of different ways that an attorney knows how to word that and get it through a judge's chambers so that they sign off on it without any kind of problem. So I mentioned that there were some exceptions to when consent isn't required. But some judges, even with those laws out there and in place, some judges are finicky about taking away someone's parental rights. And that's a good thing. It's permanent to take away someone's parental rights. So they're finicky sometimes, even if that person hasn't paid child support or hasn't seen the child for a period of time. It requires some convincing of that judge in order to get the judge to not require that consent. If you don't know where the person is, they don't care. Sometimes they want you to go publish it in the newspaper, whatever they can do to say that you at least tried to give notice. There are ways that attorneys can argue out of that. Sometimes you can do this in writing with facts and legal support for your arguments. Sometimes you have to do it in a hearing in front of the judge. But this is where that attorney comes in, and they're really valuable and invaluable for the process in order to get that going and get that child. Again, the goal is to get that child safe and secure. Another thing that's kind of a sticking point for a lot of people that they don't know is that a home study is required unless it is a family member that is a second-degree relation to the child. Again, it's one of those things where home studies can be $500, $800. It takes time. You have to schedule something. You have to have somebody come into your home, make sure that it's safe, that you have the room and the money and things like that to take care of the kid. And they have to write a report to the court. So again, home study being a requirement for non-immediate family member adoptions, that's something that an attorney can help you navigate. Also, there are just specific things that, again, it's different than like a complaint for divorce. There are specific things that have to be in the petition and the order of adoption in order for them to be legal. A lot of different rules go into that. It's very specific on what you want to do for your adoption. I know I've talked about a couple of the types of adoptions that we do here at MBL. I've talked about some of the requirements and procedural rules that are the reason that I think an attorney is valuable to help you out with your adoption. Adoptions, again, are one of the things that warms my heart. I love helping people with adoptions. My goal is to get all the kids in the world safe and happy and healthy and raised in a loving environment. So Feel free to reach out with any questions. Thank you for listening to me today on this super gray day. Again, it's raining again. Remember to comment and let us know if you're seeing sun in any part of the state. I heard Northwest Arkansas is maybe getting snow tomorrow morning. Super fun this February. I know every state says this, but in Arkansas, truly just wait a minute and the weather will change, except apparently in January and February, where it's just rainy and gray. So hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and thank you so much. Join us next week here at 11:30 a.m. and Brooke will be back with me to talk to you. Thanks so much and have a great week. Bye.